So in Chapter 5, we're going to talk about more, we're going to get into more detail about the Cisco Unified IP phones, the collaboration desk endpoints, and Cisco Jabber. We're going to get into the registration process, identify some of the connectivity requirements and connectivity options for these particular endpoints. The collaboration desktop endpoint portfolio has two general categories for Cisco Collaboration desktop endpoints. We've got the Cisco Unified IP phones, and we have Cisco Jabber. And between those two options, we have lots of connectivity choices when it comes to integrating video with our unified communications platform. We have the Cisco 8900 and 9900 series desktop phones. They're going to have VGA quality video. The DX650 is going to have high definition video capabilities, as well as integrated telepresence options built in. These devices are going to register with CUCM, or Cisco Unified Communications Manager, using SIP for call control, but they can also be configured using the skinny Cisco Client Control Protocol, which is a proprietary call control protocol developed by Cisco originally. Our Cisco Jabber desktops and our mobile unified software clients for voice, video, IM and presence, and other collaboration features, they're going to support up to 720p high definition video. They're going to support things like CTI-based integration for IP phone device control, and they're going to add video to our desktop phones. Even if we have a desktop phone that's not video capable, we can actually utilize the Jabber client in conjunction with the phone to support those video capabilities. So the Jabber client would be responsible for performing the video function with an external USB or PC-based camera, and the phone itself would be responsible for the audio portion of the communication process. Again, these devices are going to register the Cisco Jabber soft phone client. It's going to register with CUCM. It's going to use SIP, or the Session Initiated Protocol, for the call control functions, and XMPP for the IM and presence feature for the contact related presence information that you would expect to see within the Jabber client desktop or mobile desktop application. When it comes to Cisco Unified IP phones, there are many, many different types of phones that are available, but only a few of those phones support IP video natively. The Cisco Unified IP phone 8900 and 9900 series phone, they give you all of the other features that you would expect to see with a Cisco Unified IP phone, but they integrate the video components as well. The Cisco Unified IP phone DX650, for example, is going to combine all of the high quality full 1080p at 30 frames per second video that you would expect to see from a high-end video collaboration endpoint, but it also incorporates all of the unified communications applications as well. All of the video calling capabilities and interoperability are supported using H.264 and what we call AVC, or Application Visibility Control. And that includes the 8900 and the 9900 series endpoints, Jabber mobile endpoints, and all of our telepresence compliant endpoints as well, including those large telepresence room systems, the fully immersive telepresence room systems that we see. The DX650, unlike the 8900 and the 9900 series phone, the DX650 is an Android compliant device. So it's going to use the Android operating system, which gives us a whole lot of flexibility for installing applications and plugins on the phone itself. And it's going to use the Cisco Intelligent Proximity for mobile voice to share our contact and call history information among our devices that are communicating. So a lot of capabilities built into that DX650 phone, provides a lot of functionality that we don't typically see in the 8900 or the 9900 series phones. The Cisco Jabber for desktop and Jabber mobile clients operate in our unified communications environment as a thin client. It's going to be available for your PCs, your desktops, your Windows-based machines, Apple Macintosh devices, any of your tablets or your smartphones running iOS or any kind of Android operating system. It's going to include things like voice and video at 720p at full 30 frames per second, IM and presence features, voice messaging and voice management, voicemail management, desktop sharing, and really a whole bunch of other collaborative components that you would expect to see in a very kind of thorough soft phone or software-based collaboration application. It's going to use the Cisco Precision Video Engine with ClearPath technology, and that's going to allow us to optimize our video streams based on the requirements of the network and the client and the PC itself. We have video rate adaptation, optimized video quality, and this is again all based on the desktop that's attached to the device, or if it's a mobile Jabber application, the mobile network capabilities or data network capabilities. So video quality is going to get optimized based on those network requirements. You can install Jabber in an environment that's either premise-based or cloud-based. And of course, we're going to use the Cisco MediaNet infrastructure to support the Jabber. And we're going to use Cisco Unified Communications Manager as our call control function for the Jabber portfolio of products, whether it's a Jabber mobile client or the Jabber desktop client. A lot of flexibility when installing and managing Jabber because it is built on standards, standards-based APIs, our application programming interfaces, and our SDKs, our software development kits. Cisco Jabber, as you can see, runs on Windows or Mac. We have Jabber Video, we have Jabber Tablet, which runs on your iPad or a tablet device. And we have Cisco Jabber IM, which is initialized or installed on your smartphone devices. Again, Jabber is typically installed in either an on-premise based solution, on-premises, or in a cloud scenario. The components that are integrated inside of Jabber include things like Cisco IP Communicator for voice and video communications, Cisco Unified Personal Communicator, Cisco Jabber Video for Tele-Presence, Cisco WebEx Connect if you want to use the WebEx component of Cisco Jabber to participate in WebEx sessions, and the Cisco Unified Communications Manager integration or UC integration with Microsoft Lync as well. This is a matrix of all of our devices or collaboration endpoints that we would typically see in an integrated voice and video environment. We've got the 8945 phone, which is either an SCCP or a SIP-based call control function. Typically, we're going to deploy it as a SIP-based phone simply because we want a ubiquitous environment where we're using SIP across the board. Some of our endpoints only support SIP, so it's very rare that we might want to implement two different control protocols in our environment. We have 802.3 AF for power. It's a gigabit Ethernet switch on the back of the phone as well, so we have the capabilities of connecting a network device, a wired network device to that phone as a pass-through to our LAN switch, so we're not using any additional port densities or ports in our network for that connectivity. And that does operate at a gigabit Ethernet speed. And then we also have Bluetooth integration for Bluetooth-enabled headsets or Bluetooth-capable device integration. The 8961, a little bit larger footprint, some more options, feature buttons and whatnot. It is a SIP-based phone, and it's going to also support the 802.3 AF PoE functions, gigabit Ethernet. It has a USB connection on it as well. Notice that all of these phones, with the exception of the DX650, which has a high-resolution phone, all of these phones have fully integrated 640 by 480 video cameras. The exception is that the DX650 incorporates a 1080p 30 frame per second video camera, and it has a 7-inch LCD screen as opposed to the 5-inch that you would see on the 8945, the 8961, and the 9951. or the 5.6-inch LCD touchscreen display that you'd see on the 9971. Also, the DX650 screen is touchscreen as well. So the 9971 does 802.3 AF or 802.3 AT PoE, which is the newer standard, gigabit Ethernet. It has Wi-Fi capabilities built into it, as well as Bluetooth capabilities. So this is your kind of your workhorse phone. It's really the higher end, minus your DX650, which is a Tele-Presence enabled endpoint. This is a much more robust phone than you would see with, say, the 9951 and below. All of these phones support multiple line appearances, multiple configurable feature buttons and soft key buttons. They all have CTI support for telephony integration and remote control through various applications for click-to-call features or control through a Jabber client, whatever it might be. So a wide array of collaboration endpoints that support both video and voice as connectivity and functionality. Cisco Jabber is a Cisco Unified Client Services Framework software package. It's going to contain a lot of different features that are integrated into a single client that you install in, obviously, your operating system. We looked at all the various operating systems that Cisco Jabber supports. It uses SIP for its call control functionality, just like any of our other standard desktop endpoints. It has audio and video call integration with multi-point conferencing capabilities. The conferencing is not software-based, so we do need some conferencing components on the back end to support those conferencing features, conferencing resources, whether they're hardware or software-based. It does have a desktop IP phone control option with CTI integration, so the Jabber client can control a desk phone that's associated to the end user. IM and presence features through the use of XMPP. Active voicemail control, so you can see current voicemails, play voicemails, respond to voicemails, and whatnot. And it has a very robust communication history option so that you can look at missed calls and placed calls and received calls and whatnot in the Jabber client window itself. Jabber has several different capabilities, as we see. We have, obviously, Jabber for Windows and Jabber for Mac OS X. Very similar interfaces, very similar looking interfaces, so there's not a lot of changeover when you move from one client desktop to the other client desktop. We have the capabilities of performing audio calls, point-to-point chats with a direct caller while we're on a call, or even if we're not on a call, group chat functionality, video calling functionality, video conferencing capabilities, and all of our standard call control features like park and hold and transfer and whatnot. That's going to be available on the Jabber client as well. Cisco has several different Jabber modes of operations as well. Actually, two primary different modes of operation, although we do have some sub-modes that we see within Jabber itself. Desk phone mode and what we call soft phone mode. Now, in desk phone mode, Cisco Jabber controls the IP phone of whatever registered users tied to the Jabber client. For IP phones that don't have video, Jabber will actually control the phone for the audio functions, but will perform the video functions directly. The audio and video are synchronized through the use of an application, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. But there are some requirements for that synchronization to take place. The 8900 series and the 9900 series phones are video capable endpoints, so Jabber can actually detect whether or not the phone it is controlling has video capabilities. And if that is the case, then the Jabber client will allow that phone to handle both the audio and the video portion of the call. In soft phone mode, Jabber basically acts like a phone. And it's going to incorporate all of the audio and video functionality directly in the client itself, for all of your unified communications on that platform. The video functionality of Jabber is pretty robust. It's not quite as robust as, say, a DX650 at full 1080p, but it does give us 720p high definition performance at 30 frames per second. It does support the video functionality in both the soft phone and desk phone modes if we're connecting to a desk phone that doesn't have video capabilities. The video resolution that's supported uses quarter common intermediate format, or what we call QCIF or CIF. And we can get, like I said, any kind of resolution from VGA or all the way up to 720p high definition video, again at 30 frames per second. It's going to support ad hoc video conferencing control, a movable self-view window, almost like you would see like in a FaceTime environment where you can see the other person as well as yourself. It's going to have audio and video mute functionality and desktop sharing capabilities built into it. The video conferencing is going to be based on what we call SIP, Binary for Control Protocol, or BFCP. That's going to allow not only the video conferencing capabilities, but it's also going to allow content sharing while we're on an active video call. So we have content sharing capabilities built into this as well. As I mentioned on the previous section, conference bridges are required to support the video conferencing feature because the Jabber client does not have, and certainly the desktop does not have, conferencing resources or hardware resources built into it to support that conferencing on the back end. So we have obviously different IP phone and collaboration desk endpoints. Again, some of the other features and capabilities, obviously PoE or a Power Cube is an option for all of these IP related phones. We have the ability to have color key expansion modules. These are little modules that can attach to the side of the phone to give you additional feature buttons and line buttons. And we can have multiple modules attached. That will work on the 8961, the 9951, and the 9971. We use HTTP provisioning for all of these new modern phones. If you've been around the telephony environment for quite some time, we've always talked about configuration management occurring through the TFTP process. But as we mentioned previously, the HTTP process is going to be much more efficient and much more reliable, and we're going to use that to provision the firmware and the software configurations on each of these endpoints.